Ayah is referring to a very similar concept that when salah is there, it has to happen with the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So imagine if at any point of salah I am not remembering Allah, rather I am remembering something else. My shop, my business, my college, my school, my studies, whatever thing is there, at that moment I am not holding and organizing and performing that salah for the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let's say I said Allahu Akbar, I remember Allah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, I remember Allah. The moment I reach to a point where I am starting to think about something else, I don't know what is the menu of my house today at dinner, I don't know what is happening in my house, I don't know what is happening in my shop, oh I forgot that meeting, oh I forgot to prepare for that trip, whatever thing. The moment you are starting to remember those things, that means Aqim is-salat al-dhikr is not there. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding you to hold and perform your salat with the remembrance of Allah, at that moment the remembrance of Allah is not there. That means it's not in accordance with the standard that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to you for salah. And that is why one of the things we were discussing about afat, the things which make us forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the things which make us to lose that concentration and focus in namaz, the things which make us lose the huzurul qalb. I mentioned one thing before, the other thing is the faculty of imagination, the quwwatul khiyaliyah or mutakhayyila. This faculty of imagination is very, very important. Every human being has this faculty of imagination in their essence, because it is something which is helping you to even sometimes do the reasoning, put the different known things to you together in order to reach to something which is unknown. This is something which is helping you to innovate. Our youngsters, kids, they might be having many of the innovations. This is coming from the faculty of imagination. But faculty of imagination, this ability to imagine the things and innovate within the imagination, is something which can, if there is no outlines and boundaries for that, it will lead you to lose the huzurul qalb in salah. Because your aql, your soul has this faculty, it will be active in every moment. So what should we be doing for that? The solution to limit the faculty of imagination, not to suppress this faculty, but just to make some boundaries. That my aql has the imagination, okay, outside it can do the imagination. When I'm not performing any worship, it can do the imagination. But when I'm standing for salah, this is not the place where my aql shouldn't be having any sort of limitations with boundaries. There has to be outlines. You have to be within those outlines. And the outlines are the things that you recite in namaz. They are religions. There are religions where the worship is without any word. You'll go over there, you'll sit and you'll concentrate. So that is good. That is good. Even sometimes you need that concentration. But when the dhikr is not there, this tongue is not moving, that is something, that is why maybe the wisdom of having recitations and dhikr in our ibadah is the same thing. Many of the scholars believe the adhkar that we have, this is to make a boundary for your imagination. The moment you do the dhikr, the moment you start the recitation of Surah Al-Hamd and any other surah, the moment you do the dhikr of ruku, dhikr of sajda, this is not to just say something and then go on. No, this is there to make a boundary and limitation and outline for your quwwah of khiyaliyah, your faculty of imagination. Because if this is not there, where you will be thinking? You will be thinking about anything. So you can't concentrate on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't concentrate on the worship. So this is The dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even the apparent dhikr that we are doing, these are there to make you focus and have concentration in your ibadah. So, it can start in two phases. Just to make it very practical for you and very brief for you, that if you want to have concentration, if you want to do and perform thnx salat al-dhikri, do the other timings of your life with dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It cannot be, so just imagine there is a person who is participating in Olympics and he has to lift the weight of, 180 kg. Can it be like this? I just put my name over there, register, and all of a sudden I take a flight and go to whatever country it is and go and just lift it? Can it be like this? It can't be like this. You have to practice outside of the competition in order to perform better in the competition. So when you want to perform better in Salah, you have to practice it outside of Salah as well. So that is why it would be a suggestion that during the day, when you think it's not the time of namaz, alhamdulillah, you're praying 5 times a day, but there are times when you think that that time is completely irrelevant with the worship. Let's say 11 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. Let's say 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that time you are not performing any salah, isn't it? So at that time, when you are not performing any salah, and maybe your work, your shop, your office, your college, your school is not making you remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that moment, set an alarm for you. Set an alarm for yourself. The moment the alarm is there, you start to do one small dhikr. Small dhikr, whatever dhikr you like. Change it, have it the same way, but have a dhikr. The moment you start doing the dhikr, you'll remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is your practice. That is your practice of lifting the weight outside of the competition. Once you do it for just a trial and error method. Let's go for this one. Have it for this week, inshallah. Next week, I'll also try to do the same, and then we analyze it. And anybody who wants to analyze their situation personally, privately, they can come, we will talk together. So do it for yourself. 10 o'clock in the morning, 3 afternoon. Do one thing. I'm not saying a number. Do it for 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, 100 times, whatever you can, you are having a capability of. Do it for 10 times, subhanallah, know the meaning, subhanallah, 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 that's it. 3 times, doesn't matter. But know the meaning and have the intention that you want to do this because you want to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then come for namaz and see, is there any difference in your namaz? There will be a difference. I'm sure there will be a difference. You will be having more concentration, more dhikr of Allah in your salah because you are remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even in outside of salah as well. So this is the way in order to hold your imagination, your faculty of imagination, put some limitations for it, put some outlines and boundaries for it. This is an easy way, which even Ajla Imam Khomeini has presented in his book of Adab Salat as well. That if you want to perform better in your salah, you have to perform better outside of salah. When you are preparing yourself outside, you will be performing better within the salah as well. May Allah give us tawfiq to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in each and every aspect of our life and perform and remember Allah in outside of namaz and inside namaz as well. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. Bismillah.